Today we are going to study laws of motion. One very basic question is, why do objects move the way that they do? For example, if I drop this duster, why did it fall down? And then when I caught it, why did it stop? You can say because I caught it. Okay, but what am I actually doing? Newton wanted to understand this question very deeply, and he came up with 3 laws to explain this. We call these Newton's laws of motion. Okay, so the first law, Newton's basic idea was, if there is no force, or if the net force on an object is 0, that is the sum total of all the forces is 0, then what happens? That was the first question. We say if net force was 0, then the object, we know, moves in a straight line with constant velocity, or if it was at rest, remains at rest. You know the statement of Newton's laws, but basic idea is velocity is constant. If force, which is a vector, the net force on an object turns out to be 0. So I'm pushing this way, I'm pushing that way, I'm pushing that way, and so on, but the net force is 0. The object, if it was already at rest, will remain at rest, which means velocity was 0, remains 0. Or if there was a velocity, let's say 3 meters per second, it will keep moving at 3 meters per second, 3 meters per second, 3 meters per second forever in a straight line. It won't turn around. It won't go in a circle. Okay. So velocity vector is a constant. Velocity is a constant. But if velocity is a constant, velocity is not changing, what does it mean? Acceleration is 0. So if net force is 0, acceleration is 0. Is that okay? Clear? Now, this was the first law. So this just simply says an object with no forces acting on it, or if you have 2, 3 forces, it adds up to be 0, net force is 0. What does the object do? If it was at rest, remains at rest. If it was moving, keeps on moving in a straight line. But that is not what is interesting, right? For example, if I took this duster and I dropped it, it was at rest. I left it, it starts coming down. So it was at rest, and now it is coming down, which means there is an acceleration. Why? Because there is a net force. So Newton came up with the second law, and the second law says, if net force is not 0, net force is not 0, then acceleration of the object is equal to net force by mass. The object has an acceleration, because you see, net force is 0, acceleration is 0. If net force is not 0, acceleration is not 0. How much is acceleration? Net force by mass. We write this as net force is mass into acceleration. We call this Newton's second law of motion. Okay? Very, very important statement. This is applicable to particles or objects that move together as particles. So for example, though particle means a very tiny dot, right? But this is not a tiny dot. But if this is also going to move together, we will still call it particle. We will say F equals ma for this particle. But please keep in mind, it is not F, it is net force. It's not one force. If there are 3 forces, you have to add the 3 forces up. I'll explain again what the addition of 3 forces means, but let me just go to the third law and then we'll come to that idea. Okay, so let us go to the third law. Newton came up with the third law. And the third law was, if I took 2 objects, let us say A and B. A pushes B. So let me say I am pushing this board. The board is pushing me back. Whenever I push the board is pushing me back. Equal forces, opposite direction. A pushes B, F1, B pushes A, F2, F1, F2, opposite direction. But the magnitude of F1 and F2 will be equal. As vectors, we will write F2 vector is minus F1 vector. What does the minus mean? This direction, this direction. What does the equal to mean? These two have the same magnitude. Okay, so keep that in mind. We write this as Newton's third law, or action is equal to reaction. or for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. The minus sign tells you the opposite. Okay. Now let us come back to this net force. We always talk about net force. So if you took this block and if there was an object pulling it like this, 20 newtons, and another fellow pulling it with 5 newtons, what is the net force on the object? 20 plus 5, 25. But if I had 10 more newtons this way, you will not say 20 plus 5, 25 plus 10, 35. No, that's not correct. 20 plus 5 minus 10. Why minus 10? It is in the opposite direction. Force has that arrow on top. So force is a vector. Whenever I say plus, I will say plus. But plus does not mean plus. Plus means in this case minus, because it is plus with a vector. So net force is 20 plus 5. We will say add, but we will write here minus 10. So what is the net force? Total force. Add everything. But what do you mean add? This and this. When you add, this is a minus number. So you have to add with a negative sign. Okay. So therefore the answer for this net force is how much? 25 minus 10, 15 newtons. We use newtons to talk about the unit of force. That is the SI unit of force. For mass, the SI unit is kg. If you used newtons by kg, so many newtons by so much kg, you will end up, for example, let us say this was 15 newtons, right? Suppose I said this was 3 kg. What is the net force? 15 newtons. What is the mass? 3 kg. So what is the acceleration? 5 Newton by kg. Newton by kg, the SI unit of acceleration, meters per second square. If this was Newton and if this was kg, this will automatically be meters per second square. Always use SI units. Kg, meter per second square is Newton. Okay. So I hope this is clear how to find net force. Remember, this is all nice because it's all in one dimension. If I had one force like this and a second force like that, let us say 3 newtons, 2 newtons. It is not 3 plus 2, it is not 3 minus 2. You have to do vector addition. You have to say 3, 2, net force is in that direction. So we will use Pythagoras theorem to figure out what the net force is and what the direction is. We will come to that later when we worry about two-dimensional cases. So I hope that is clear. This is not net force. This is each force. A exerts a force on B, B exerts a force on A. This is net force, this is net force. No, not net force. This is each individual force. Now A may have 3-4 forces. For example, C is also pushing A. So if you take A, net force on A is F2 plus F3, properly done with vectors. Okay, 2 forces. But F2 and F1 are equal and opposite. F3 and F2, we don't know. Okay, for net force you have to take both. But for Newton's third law, you only take these two. So I hope that is clear. And we will use Newton's third law even before we start solving the problem. When we draw the diagram itself, we will use Newton's third law. For example, nobody writes F1 and F2. People will say, I have two objects, A, B. A is pushing B with 6 newtons. What is B doing? 6 newtons like this, finished. You will not say F1, F2, write an equation. Don't even do that. Just write 6 newtons minus 6 newtons. It's already minus. How do I know it is minus? How do I know it is minus? I have already put an arrow. So this, if this is plus, this is minus. So I hope this is clear. Now let us take a couple of examples to understand how to use Newton's second law, because understanding Newton's second law is extremely important. If you have understood these 3 laws, it's easy to say the laws. Okay, but if you understand the 3 laws and can apply it, suddenly you will find physics has become very, very easy. Okay, so it's extremely important to understand particularly this law. This is also equally important. Okay, but that is what we are going to use to solve problems. So therefore, let us focus a little bit more to learn how to apply Newton's second law. So let us start with a few examples. So here I have one block and I have multiple forces. You already know how we can find the acceleration, right? Now, suppose I had two blocks, and let us say they were touching each other. Let us say that this was a 4 kg block and this was a 1 kg block. And if I had a force of 15 newtons on this block and I had a force of 5 newtons on that block. Now it's not one block, but so what? Don't you think they will move together? Assume that this was a frictionless floor, it was smooth, we don't have to worry about other things. 15, 5. What direction do you think it will move in? Is it going to move this way or is it going to move that way? 15 is pushing this way, 5 is that way, so it's going to move that direction, right? So acceleration is net force by mass, net force direction. Acceleration direction, net force direction should be the same. So what is the net force direction? 15 minus 5 in that direction. And what is the total mass? 5. So acceleration is 10 by 5, 2 meters per second square. Is that okay? Clear? In which direction? That direction. Okay, I'm not putting an arrow, I'm just saying that it is in that direction. So is that hopefully clear? So you can sometimes use F equals ma when you have two blocks. But if I had two blocks like this, 5 newtons, 15 newtons, 4 kg, 1 kg, same case. But now the problem is, this will move this way, this will move this way. You cannot even find the same acceleration. You can't write A because this has a different A. So this is A1, this is A2. This A1 is going to be 15 by 4 meters per second square. A2, what is A2? 5 by 1, which is 5 meters per second square. Not just that, A2 is in this direction, A1 is in that direction. Equal? No. So you cannot write F equals ma together for this. You can do it for this block, you can do it for that block. Whereas if it is all joint and they are moving together, you can think of this as one big block. But you can't always think of it as a big block. Sometimes this might push and maybe that will run away a little further. In that case, if the accelerations are different, then you cannot write net force by mass for one big block. You have to do it as separate blocks. Okay. Now let us take another example. Now if I had, let us say 3 blocks like this on a smooth floor. Smooth floor, I don't have to worry about friction. We'll come to friction in other cases later. Okay. So now I'm going to pull in this direction with a force of 12 newtons. And I'm pulling it in that direction with a force of, let us say, 3 newtons. This is 3 kg, 2 kg, 1 kg. Now what do you think about this case? Well, this rope may be very long, maybe this will slip, etc. But I'm going to tell you a few more things here. They were originally at rest and these ropes were all straight, taut. Now this is 12 newtons, that is 3 newtons. What do you think will happen? It is going to move this way, right? And everybody is going to move the same way. And everybody is going to move with the same acceleration. So I can think of this as one big block. What is the mass of this big block? 3 plus 2 plus 1. Assuming rope and all, we can ignore the mass, very, very thin, light ropes. So what is the total mass? 6 kg. Net force by mass. What is the mass? 6 kg. What is the net force? 12 minus 3, how much is it? 12 minus 3 is 9. So it is 9 newtons by 6 kg. How much is 9 by 6? If I divide by 3, this becomes 3 by 2. So it is 1.5 meters per second square. What direction? Always think about the direction. What direction is the acceleration? This way. What is the direction of net force? This way. What is the direction of acceleration? This way. So the direction of acceleration is this way. Okay? So I hope this is clear. Now please keep in mind that we are doing very simple problems. Everything is moving together. That's why we can use it. If I took the same example and then I started pushing 3 newtons, 12 newtons. Do you think they will move together, or these two will start moving and this will be at rest? What do you think will happen? It will just start to come closer, it will start coming closer, and then this fellow will remain there. You cannot use this idea because they are not moving together. I hope that is clear. So for a problem like this, this idea won't work. So we have to then learn how to apply separately, for this separately, for this separately, for that separately. That's what we are going to learn in the next concept, but I want you to first understand this very well. Also, many times people will want to ask, what is this force that this rope exerts on the 2 kg block? It is actually going to pull the 2 kg block. How much is this force? We usually call it tension. So if somebody asks you, hey, what is this force tension? Then this solution is not enough. Then we need to actually do the next step, which is to separate this out as free body. So we will learn that as a separate idea now, how to go deeper into this to take each body apart and find the answer to that question. Please remember, we can apply Newton's laws, F equals ma. We can apply it to a particle, to a big block, or to many blocks which are connected in such a way that they move together. Together is very important. If they were moving together, then we can treat it like big block. So together we can treat it like a big block. And this is very useful because many problems you should be able to treat it as one big block. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Right. So second important idea, F net, this is net, it's not F, F net, the direction of F net and the direction of acceleration is the same. Okay. Now we have looked at questions where I have given you the force and I have asked you to find the acceleration. Now sometimes we will give you the acceleration and ask you to find the force. So that is also something that we must be able to do. So now let us look at this question. You have a 2 kg block and you have 4 forces acting on it. One force I don't know. This is a 7 Newton force, 8 Newton force, 3 Newton force, and F we don't know. But we know that this object has an acceleration of 3 meters per second square in that direction. We will write net forces mass into acceleration because we want to find out what is F. Now choose the acceleration direction as positive. Always write F equals ma, but start with ma. That is the key trick. Mass into acceleration 2 into 3 in that direction. So that means everything in that direction will be positive. 7 positive, 8 positive, so 7 plus 8, minus 3 minus F, because F is also in this direction. So if you see, what is this? 15 minus 3, this is 12. 12 minus F is equal to 6. This is 6, right? So 12 minus F is 6. So F, you can take F to that side, it will become plus F. So 12 minus 6, which is 6 newtons. You can check this very easily. If I took this and put it there, you can see that if this is 6, 7 plus 8, 15, minus 3, 12, minus 6, 6, 6 divided by 2, 3, that is the acceleration. So I hope this is clear. Now therefore don't assume you can always do this. To do this you need the direction of acceleration. Let us take this question. So if you take this question, there is an 8 kg block. There are 4 forces, 15, 7, 5 and F. The object has an acceleration of 2. Now what happens is people assume that you must always write 8 into 2. So for example, let me do this. Let me say this is 8 into 2. Like I did that, 2 into 3. Then suppose I say it is 15 plus 7 minus 5 minus F. Can I solve this? Yes, but be a little careful. Let us see. So if I write this I have written net force is mass into acceleration. What do I get here? 15 plus 7 minus 5. 7 minus 5 is 2. So 15 plus 2, 17. That is 16. 17 minus F is 16. So what does this tell us? 17 minus 16, 1 is F. So we have got an answer, F is equal to 1 Newton. So is that the correct answer? No. Why not? Because I have not given you the direction. What did I assume here? We assumed that this 2 meter per second square was in that direction. What if instead it was in this direction? Suppose this was in this direction, I will write the same equation. Now I will write 8 into 2, but then this is minus 15. That is, look at that. This direction is now become positive, right? So I will start with minus 15, minus 7, right? And then plus 5, plus F. Would it give you the same answer with a minus 1? No. Let us see. How much is this? This is minus 2. So this is minus 17. So if I took minus 17 to that side, it will become plus 17. So F will basically become 16 plus 17 equal to 33. Very big difference. Just compare these two. Is it 1 or is it 33? Both. It depends on whether this 2 meter per second square was that way or this way. It is very important that you focus on the direction of acceleration. Okay. If you knew it was 2 meter per second square that way, then you are saying net force that way. If you knew it was 2 meter per second square this way, then it is net force this way. Okay. Like for example, if it was 33 newtons, if this was 33, 33 plus 5, 38. This is 22. So 38 minus 22 will give you a net force in this direction, 16 in this direction. So the acceleration will be 2 meters per second square like that. But if it was 1, then it is 15 plus 7, 22 minus 5 minus 1, that is 6, right? So 22 minus 6 will give me 16 in that direction. So the acceleration will be in that direction. So you need to know whether the acceleration was in this direction or that direction. So for this particular question, there is no single answer. It can be 1 Newton or it can be 33 Newtons. Very different answers, depends on the direction of acceleration. Now, this is a very easy question here, but you have to think hard about it, and particularly important because when we get to pulley problems, you will see this will start to matter. Remember the statement F equals ma, the direction of A and the direction of F have to be the same. That's very important, okay? Keep this always in mind. So start with the direction of A and then say that is the positive direction, then find net force in that direction, okay? So I hope this is clear. Now let us take the case where there are two objects, okay? Now if they are moving together, you already know how to calculate. In this case, there is a 3 kg block and a 2 kg block. There's a 30 Newton force on the 3 kg block. There is an X Newton force on the 2 kg block. I am telling you they are moving together. If they are moving together, what can I do? One big block. So I can treat it like it is a 5 kg block. So 5 kg block, mass, not 3, not 2, 5. Mass into acceleration. But do I know the direction of acceleration? That way. So that means I must write net force in that direction. Okay, this is into, this is just an into, this is x. Okay, don't confuse the two. So mass into acceleration must be net force in that direction. Is it 30 minus x or is it x minus 30? What should I write? In that direction. So 30 is plus because it's that way. X is this way, so minus. So 30 minus x. So this is 20, that is 30. So 30 minus 20 will become 10. So x is equal to 10 newtons. This is just a solution, simple equation, right? So I now know that this is 10 newtons in this direction. But the question that is being asked is what is the force exerted by 3 kg on 2 kg block? That's confusing, right? I can say what is this force, I can say what is that force. We want to know what is this fellow doing to the 2 kg block. So then we will separate out the 2 kg, we will spend more time learning this. The 2 kg, what is the acceleration of 2 kg? 4 meters per second square. So 2 kg if you pulled it out separately, zoom in into 2 kg, think about 2 kg. This X is acting on 2 kg, correct? This force is acting on 2 kg, and this 3 kg is pushing it, I don't know how much, not 30, it is not 30, this 30 does not go to the 2 kg block. There is some force, let us call it F. That is the question. Question is find this force. But because of this force and that force, what is the 2 kg block doing? It is accelerating at 4 meters per second square. Correct? So mass into acceleration for this little block, not the big block, small block. Mass into acceleration must be net force on this block. But what is the net force on this block? F minus 10. So what is F? 10 plus 8. So 18. Now this is the force exerted by 3 kg block on 2 kg block. So I can say the force is 18 newtons. In what direction? This direction. Suppose the question said, what force is 2 kg exerting on 3 kg block? Newton's third law. So what will the answer be? 18 newtons this way. So we can directly come up with the idea that this force was 18. So this force must be 18. But just to build confidence, let us try this out. So suppose instead of this being the question, suppose the question had asked, what force does 2 kg exert on the 3 kg? You already know the answer. What is the answer? 18 in this direction. But let us assume I don't know the answer. So let us say the force was P, some force. And this force you already know is 30 newtons. And the mass is 3 kg. I want to find what is P. Now let us take this object. It has an acceleration of 4 meters per second square. 4 meters per second square. Now when I came to the 2 kg, the equation I wrote was F minus 10 is 2 into 4. Here I should write 3 into 4. So let us write 3 into 4. In what direction? Mass into acceleration, like that. Now should I write P minus 30 or should I write 30 minus P? 30 minus P. Notice here I wrote F minus 10, but that was because in this direction. Here I am writing 30 minus P. Now this is 30, this is 12. 4 into 3, 12, right? So therefore P must be 30 minus 12. How much is 30 minus 12? 18 newtons. So we found out this is 18 newtons. How much is that? 18 newtons. But come on, you already knew this. Newton's third law. What does it say? If 3 kg exerts a force of 18 newtons on 2 kg, 2 kg will exert a force of 18 newtons in the opposite direction on the 3 kg block. Now I did not use Newton's third law right now to find this. I have directly found this. Of course, Newton's third law is already there. I'm cheating. Okay, it was there when I said we can think of it as one big block. Okay, but basic idea is that if you took this block separately, you can find this force. You took this block separately, you can find that force. And of course, these two forces are also connected. So we should learn how to apply Newton's laws in different questions like this, because the more we learn, the more you will be able to see. Now this last part was a little tough, right? Because it was something where I'm trying to not just find this force, but I'm also asking you to find the force between 3 kg and 2 kg and 2 kg and 3 kg. This kind of problem, we call it motion of connected objects. We will learn how to do this in the next concept.